Miles 360. Well, it's been a couple of weeks. I'm overdue to put a video out, so we thought we'd look at all the results we've had in the last results video I had was the state singles. That's how long it's been since we posted a results video. So we've had a few events since then. I'll go through them shortly. But let's have a look at all the result winners, the winners that we've had, and we'll have a quick look at the rankings and how it all washes up from that. Let's have a look. Congratulations there to Diane Hudson on taking out the title this year. She beat Lisa Featherby there in the final 25-21. You can see by her scores, none of them were really convincing wins. She showed a lot of guts and courage to get over a lot of these games. Kerry Hutchinson in the semi-final 25-19. Esther Forbes in the quarters 21-16 again, 21-16 over Irene Leahy. Amanda Masters 21-14 and a tight one in her first game against Patricia Stewart 21-20. But congratulations, Diane. A very good roll call of people there to have won that event, especially to beat Lisa Featherby, who's a renowned singles player, especially her home club. So well done to you. Next we'll look at the W Masters, that says singles, but it should be the pairs. The W Masters pairs taken out by Blake Butler and Callum Alberti. Looking very happy with themselves there. They beat Blake Nan Warren Holt in the final 17-8. It was a good win in the final there. Mitch Bigler, Mark Wannenberg 21-9 in the semi. Ben Leggett, a good win over Ben and Cam Green 15-12 in the quarters. And their sectional matches, their tight game there against Kyle McElroy, Anthony Williams 15-14. But well done to Blake and to Callum, a really young rising star we have over here in WA. He is bound for greater things, I'm sure of it. So congratulations to you guys. Next we'll go to the Countryweek men's, which was held over the long weekend in March. Our singles winner this year is Joel Leeson. I won't go through all the names. Gee, they play a hell of a lot of games, don't they? Anyone you see winning two events in the 1 year, wow, what a marathon. The men of steel these guys are. So Joel, the winner this year, beat Anthony Ryan in the grand final 21-8. He beat his dad in the semi, Peter 21-16, and Jamie Conway in the quarters 21-10. The other games there you can see fairly much untroubled. He did have a good battle against Peter Nichols 21-19 in the round of 64. You can see there, what's that, 10 games he played. So anyone who wins a Countryweek singles certainly earns their money there. The pairs, another 10 games there to the winners this year, Dave Stanek and skipper Jamie Conway. Congratulations. Both of them have played in the city, of course. And the grand final, they beat Mark Simpson and John Solly 21-8, a very good win in the grand final. Peter Flay, Greg Barrett Leonard 14-11 in the semis. And Brad Small, Tim O'Mean 17-9 in the quarters. So they had a pretty good run in the final series on the way to the title. Some tight games though in the lead up. In the round of 32, Arthur Cousins, Alan Shattuck 13-12. And a 10-9 win in the round of 128, their first knockout game against Aidan McAuliffe and Lloyd Morgan. So congratulations to Dave and Jamie there. And in the fours, the winning side there is Ted Riley, Colin Gibbs, Dave Goddard and Tim Stevens. They also had 10 games on their way to their title. They defeated Ian Hill, Ken Wolfenden, Shane Manuel, Phil Becker in the final 20-17. And really, they had a pretty good tournament. Craig Greenheld, Glenn Dunn, Andy Mears, Brian Chowell 20-8. John Malloy, Greg Crisp, Doug Ellis, Barry Drage 12-8 in the corners. And really, any other close game there in one of their sectional games, probably to win the section, Matt Hudson, Dylan Johnston, Michael Van Elden, Rod Haythorne 17-16. They did lose their first game of their sectional there in the bottom to Brendan Gordon, Lindsay Joyce, Alan Stewart, Ian Smith 10-14. But from there onwards, they took it all before them to take out the title. So well done to you guys. Now we turn to the Women's Countryweek. That was played, 3 weeks ago or so. Linda Warburton there is the singles winner for this year. She defeated Carol Ashworth 21-6 in the final. In the semi it was a little bit closer, 21-17 against Karen Bryan. In the quarters, Chris Lewis 17-5. Some pretty good wins there. Diane Anderson 17-15, getting the closest out of the rest. So well done, Linda. on your title. I really don't know the history too much of Countryweek stuff, so I don't know if all these people have won it before or not, so excuse my lack of knowledge there. The women's Countryweek pairs went to Julie Watson, Kathy Gobbard from Gin Gin. The grand final there against Ann Doy, Gloria Nelson, 12-8. And the semi-final, Beverly McKenna, Joy O'Brien, 4-shot winners in both of those games, 18-14, and there was tight tussle there in the quarters. Tony Madigan and Leonie Higgins, 16-14. They did have a draw in their sectional game, but they had a pretty good tournament there, so well done to Kathy and Julie. And the ladies' fours, or the women's Countryweek fours, taken out by, I'm not sure the club, Kerry West, Deborah Rundell, Leslie Gould, Gail George. See, they beat Lynn Egerton Green, Michelle Thompson, Gwenda Harper, Josephine Zappia, 18-6 in the final. That was, of course, played. All these women's games were played undercover at Stirling because of the that was the weekend of the cyclone, so it was quite inclement and windy. So they all went undercover at the Stirling to play their games. Obviously, you enjoyed the service there. 18-6 is a good win in the final. In the semi, they won 20-12 over Anne White, Rochelle Donovan, Helen Flay, Sandra Miles. And in the quarters, winning by 3 shots over Irene Grout, Tanya Groves, Lorraine Jones and Ingrid McHardy. And they had a pretty good tournament. They did lose their last game, 17-1. They lost against Natalie Anderson, Maria Bowley, Jenny Normington, Marissa Adam, but the hard work was done by then. They were through no matter what, the way that result turned out, and they probably switched off for a bit and just enjoyed the last game of the section to get through. So well done to you ladies and to all the ladies for winning this year's Countryweek events. We turn now to the state triples that was held last weekend, and firstly to the men, Lee Such, Aidan Sear, Justin Opie. Congratulations to you guys. Suchy, of course, has become a bit of a renowned triples figure. He's won about 4 or 5 triples titles now, Masters triples, state triples, with various people. Aidan Sear, that will be his first state event win, and Justin Opie, of course, a well-known gun bowler in the state. So well done to the three of you. A good win in the final against Russell Bates, Brad Ball, Mark Simpson, 19-12. In the semis, they defeated Brad White, Charlie Slavich, Gav Faulkner, 15-9. And in the quarters, they took out Darren Rowland, Andrew Garlick, James Groves, 11-7. They did have a couple of tight games there in the round of 16-32 to sneak over the line by 1 shot. But it'd be very rare to win a state title without some game or two being decided by a very narrow margin. So well done to the three of you. And lastly, not that one, is the women's state triples taken out by Amanda Masters, Deb Saunders and Sian Saunders. They defeated Pam Chalmers, Sian Smith, Sophie Hayes, 15-13 in the final. A good tight game there. In the semis, it was Lisa Featherby, Linda Warburton, Denise Kelly, 14-7 victors. And in the quarters, Kathy Gobbard, Julie Watson, Julie Saville, 13-10. That did have a tight game in the round of 16, and also their final sectional game against Helen Morse. Both of those 1-shot wins. And if you look at all the names there, that is loaded with prominent female bowlers in the state. Plenty of current state players, ex-state players, state champions. That looks like a really, really good win on paper for the three there. So well done to Sian, Deb and Amanda. Right, so where does that look for the rankings? How does that place them all? Well, we discussed the rankings with Sachi here on the one of the videos a month or two ago, and he suggested, and I agree with him, a few people have also said it to me, that maybe the weightings should be increased. So let's have a quick look at the ratings and what I've changed them to. Whoop. So let's have a quick look at the ratings and see what I've changed them to. I've increased in the state events, I've increased the grand finals from 10 to 15, the runner-up from 9 to 12, and the semi-finalist has gone up from 7 to 10. In the restricted events, such as the master singles, pairs, triples, that sort of stuff, the grand finalist, I did allocate 7 points to them in the past. It's now 10. and everything else has moved up accordingly. Interestingly, when I did this, I hadn't put any of the results in for the events that I just talked about, and it absolutely made no difference to the order of the people at the time. But since I put those scores in and all these events, it's made a pretty marked difference to the rankings. Let's have a look. So to the men, and we can see that Blake Nan is now our Bowls 360 ranked number 1 player for the men. He overtakes Warren Holt. So when I did these changes, a few events had yet to be played. Warren Holt still had a very small lead over Blake, but Blake's since won. What's he won? He's done very well in events. The triples, he was semi-finalist. The singles, he was around a 16. And the Masters pairs, he was runner-up, of course. So that's shot him to the lead there, 134.5 points. He's 20-odd points now, clear of Warren Holt in second spot. Daniel Torella remains unchanged in third. But there's a huge gap from third to fourth. 32 points or so. So those top 3 will probably stay there for a little while yet, until their points start dropping off the back, unless they keep winning and doing well, of course. Which is the whole idea of the rankings, the scoring really. Ben Liggett is in 4th, Justin Opie in 5th, Clive Adams sits in 6th spot, Dave Goddard, who we found out during the week from his Facebook page that he's in the state squad. So when those squads get announced, I will then colour code the state squad players in the ranking sheet just to see how they compare to everyone else. So Dave Goddard sits in 7th, Matty Mitchell, it's been a bit quiet, 12 months. He's dropped down to 8th. Wes Nielsen sits in 9th. He's had a pretty good month of bowls from the state singles. And Kyle McElroy rounds out the top 10. You can see I've listed there the top 27. I will post all these, so if you want to know where you are, there's a link to the Google Sheets on my webpage. So if you want to go to the webpage, there'll be a tab there for the rankings at the moment. So if you want to have a look and see where you are, go to that link. The significant ones there we can see on the screen. Gav Faulkner up 12 spots into 11th. Joel Leeson up 23 spots into 17th. And Sergen Paslic up 21 spots into 21. Darren Rowland up 16 into 22. And Brad White has hit the top 25 for the first time, up 43 slots. He's had a pretty good 6 months, really. Brad ran to 32 in the singles, triples, fours, and Masters pairs semi-finalists. So he's had a good 6 months or so. But I'll put the full list up on the website for the men and for the ladies. We can see that Lisa Featherby has got a mile advantage in front of second spot Deb Saunders. Lisa Featherby sits on 1. She was 1 beforehand. She's still number 1. She is 38 points clear of Deb, who's moved in a second spot from her triples win, and also a good result in the Masters singles and the Masters pairs, which I think were recently. So that's seen her push over in the second spot. But it's pretty tight in the ladies outside of Lisa, who's way out in front. The rest after her are pretty tight. Ace Watson sits in 3rd. Chrissy Van Nierop in 4th. They both drop a spot. Amanda Masters and Sian Saunders with their wins in the state triples move up into 5th and 6th. Linda Warburton with her win in the Countryweek singles is in 7th. Lara Butler drops down a couple of spots into 8th. Lisa Smith sits in 9th, and Sian Smith has moved up a couple of spots there to be in 10th. Again, we don't know the state squads for the ladies, so when I do, I'll colour code the members of the state squad. Significant changes: Kathy Gobbart, Pam Chalmers have both moved up 9 spots with their recent good results, and Ruby Leggett right down the bottom there in 27th, moving up 8 spots as well. So that's it for the video for today. Thank you once again for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to the videos, and let me know. Feel free to drop any comments or something that you like. I'll get back and answer them, of course. Not sure when the next video is. The next state event will be the mixed pairs in a couple of weeks, and that's probably there's the men's Masters singles as well coming up in mid-May. So they're probably the last couple of events we've got, which will round out our season, which will finish it off, and then we'll see how everyone's looking for the year. Until then, we'll see you all later. Bye for now.